Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the latest in the history of episodes of the No BS Flight Sim Show. Used to be called the Airplane Show, but now we're calling it, I guess today we're going to call it the No BS Flight Sim Sunday Show. There we go. The No BS Flight Sim Sunday Show. Welcome everybody to the latest episode of the No BS Flight Sim Sunday Show. You didn't know today is International Space Day. What kind of? Let me look it up again. Damn it! I knew what it was a second ago. International Day of Human Spaceflight. It was the day that Yuri first went to space. Yuri first went to space April 12th, 1961, when Yuri Gagarin orbited Earth, proving that people who leave the planet and return safely to Mother Russia. Anyways, so we're going to take the Flying Fries Quasar to the edge of space. I've done this once before. I don't recall if we actually were able to get much space flight. I remember kind of just floating out there. Maybe it's changed. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to jump into this Quasar. This Quasar is a lot of fun to fly. If you're not familiar with this thing, let me show you the... You can get it on flightsim.to. You can get it in the marketplace. You can get it on Orbix. But it is it's a really cool. You know what? Let me just. I guess I could have just gone to my page. Let me just type in Quasar. There we go. I forget the price. I think it's like 20 or 30 bucks, but it is really cool. If you're not familiar with Flying Fries, as a company, they make another really excellent modded airplane. It's called the, what is it called? It's called the Scrapyard Monster. If you've seen it on here before, it's the one where it's got the Ferrari engine and the alarm clock that turns off the whole airplane, a little coin slot you put in, a quarter to turn the airplane on. It's got a samurai sword for the, like the throttle. I mean for the prop. It's a pretty cool little plane. But yeah, this thing surprisingly is very, very detailed on the inside. It is really cool on the inside. But yeah, according to this, we can go up to 10 million feet. We'll see. Cruising altitude of 130,000 feet. See, that's different than rated altitude. So see, that's what bothers me, that we're not going to be able to get into space, is that we're not going to be able to get past 130,000 feet. Now, I think that's what happened last time, if I remember correct. But, you know, supposedly when they tested this thing, like if you go to their website and read about it, it'll tell you that that they took it like past the moon or something like that. It's something crazy that they did. You know, I could probably just look it up now, actually. Let me see here. Okay, let's see. No, not you motherfucker. Here we go, Flying Fries Quasar. And let me look at their page here. I guess I could share what I'm looking at. Give me a second. Let me share the screen here. Okay. I could have sworn that they said they took it. I know I saw it somewhere. I'll have to come back to it later. It's not like a big deal right now. But, yeah. Flying Fries, they make some cool stuff. Yeah, the XF-11. Here's the Scrapyard Monster right here. Yeah, that Scrapyard Monster is dope as hell. Yep, right here. This thing. This thing is dope as fuck. Might have to fly this again one day. I don't usually use the one with the regular tires because it's so hard to turn it on the ground. The one with the floats is much easier to turn on the ground. But all right, let's get into this Quasar. I'm not really sure where we're. Maybe we'll leave somewhere near the Texas space station here, or maybe we'll take off from Cape Canaveral. I don't know. Let's go back. Hopefully everybody's having a good Sunday. This Quasar, we see this a lot, sitting around the the airports whenever we're taxiing and taking off. All right, let's see if they have a Russian livery, since it's Yuri's day. Ah, Su-57. Very good. We'll do that one today. That's very Russian. Purple, radioactive, Quapper, Flamingo, Dark Knight, Normandy, Ostentatious, Steiny, Ace of Spades we did last time. All right, we'll do the Su-57. It doesn't really matter where we take off from. We'll take off somewhere in Russia. We'll take off from Moscow. I'm not doing, say, intentions. We're not doing any of that stuffs. Moscow University. All right, we'll just leave from this one. That's fine. Helipad. Okay, we'll park right here. All right, I don't have long to do this today. I only have about an hour. Supposed to be getting together with my son later today, which is good, I guess. I guess I should turn the sound on for the game. Okay. Let me get Sky Dolly started. Okay. Get to the Quasar. Oh, Flight FS Realistic Pro. Let me turn that down a little bit. Oh, actually, that's coming from Flying Fries. Oh, shit. No shit. That's cool. All right, well, let's get... All right, pilot. We'll do Johnny 6. Oh, that's cool. He's still shivering. All right, let's go back to Johnny then. Let's see if we can get him to stop shivering. Okay, let's go ahead and get our checklist up. Okay, EFB, remove all the chocks and shit. Okay, breaker switches, they are over here if I remember correct. Yep, they are all in. Let's push the batteries on.
Ah, sweet current. Ready for another adventure, Captain?
Nav lights on. Nuclear links 1, 2, and 3 on. Avionics master on. Computer voice. All right, test buttons. Okay, that all works.
FCS test started.
Oh yeah, here's a checklist as well too. All right, I'm done listening to Johnny shiver. Let's get Johnny 6 up here. Okay. Let's see, is that test button done?
Thrust vectoring test started. Mach surfaces test started. On days like this, with temperatures like this, I would really like to fly to the Bahamas and lie on the hot sand.
I hear you on that one. All right, so FCS is okay.
All tests completed. We are clear to proceed.
Excellent. Let's turn on the hydrogen electrolyzers. Let's turn all the fuel valves on. Okay, so we did turn all these on. Fuel we can change mid-flight. I'm not really worried about that. All right, let's do startup. Beacon lights on. Turn on our APU master. APU start. All right, APU bleed on. Let's secure the seat and the ladder. Parking brake is set. We should have closed the canopy, I think, as well. Let me close the canopy. All right, very good. So engine 1, we can turn that starter on now. Get number 4 going. Oh, I gotta remember which one is the afterburner button. Let me see here. I don't think I still have it set up. Right alt. Wow, that's a... Oh, no, never mind. Right alt left. Okay, what about... Oh, on the yoke. Guess I could do right alt and left. Kind of want to create a new profile. Let me do this real quick. Hang on a second. I'm not sure if I have a Quasar profile. Let's see here under quadrant. Actually, I would just do this on the yoke. And I can make, so I can make button A. Okay, autopilot off. Duplicate. We'll call this Quasar. We'll call it afterburner. Okay, afterburner. All right, we'll delete this one. Come back up here. Do afterburner. And toggle, and now we are set. Now we can toggle the afterburner right from our yoke. All right, gotta turn the APU off now. Fuselage light on. I think the rest is already good. Like, we don't really need to do anything else. We taxi with 2 engines. We turn the other engines on. Cast page. I think that's really it. I think setup is all good. Elevator trim. Oh yeah, let me make sure my elevator trim works. Let's see here. Do I have trim showing anywhere? Yeah, trim's right here. All right, these are reversed. I need to reverse those. Okay, quadrant. Trim. All right, this needs to be reversed. Now when I scroll, it goes up, and yeah, very good. Okay, so that's correct. I always thought that was like a Decepticon and Autobots thing. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's cool, look at that. All right, quick lights. I always like quick lights. Light director. We're not setting an altitude. We're not doing any of that. And as far as controlling our map, where is that controlled again? Options, speeds, cargo. Is it controlled from here? Let's see. Let me see if I make this full screen. Okay, all right. Let me get rid of some of the stuff around the sides here. So traffic, I don't really care about traffic. Okay, detail is off. Okay, so that's about as good as I'm gonna get it. Okay. All right, let's taxi out. Yeah, even with the brakes on, this thing is like still moving. I really don't know where the runway is. Oh yeah, yes I do. I chose this spot because we're right close to it, that's right. Should make it real time. Of course I have to reprogram this. Of course, every time I start. Delete. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we'll just do clear skies. And I don't really care about time. All right, let's go. Stop here. Let's get the next two engines on. Park and brake set. Engine 2, starter on. Fuel introduced. Engine 3, starter on. Fuel flow introduced. Introduced. What time is it? Well, after 12, I've got about maybe half an hour, 40 minutes left. Okay. We're looking good. Landing lights on. All right, park and brake off. We are good to go, Jack. I'm not giving it any throttle. It's like we're going that fast. Yeah, this thing is super fast. And yes, it is unlimited the amount of miles you can fly this thing. The nuclear reactors, like, they generate their own fuel. It's really cool. You can't like gun it the whole time. You can't be like afterburners on the whole time, but all right, takeoff power set. Afterburners on. And gear up. All right, let's start climbing. Landing lights are off. Yaw dampener on. You don't really need to use autopilot on this thing. Not when you're going as high up in the air as we are. All right, let's pull our throttles back a little bit. We're at 41,000 feet already. Oh yeah, the sonic booms because we're going so fast. Which way are we heading? We're heading east, so we're going towards the sun. I don't want to go towards the sun. Let's go west. We're heading away from the sun. still flying it by hand, by the way. Trying to turn, man. This thing does not. It's one thing with this thing. It does not, at least conventionally, it doesn't turn conventionally. I wonder if we really need to. Rudders don't really help. Yeah, the conventional way of turning does not turn this thing that fast. This thing is not a fast turning spaceship. It's okay. It's not built for. I guess it's not built for battle. Those are the afterburners. All right, that's good enough. Let's just continue up. See, even now we're making fuel. We got the thrusters like almost all the way up. Speed is okay. We're still making fuel. Let me trim us out a little bit. I can kind of take my hand off the wheel for a little bit, and we're still climbing at a good clip, gaining speed. I don't even really care about landing this thing today. I just want to just get into outer space and see if we can actually do it. Because the last time we tried, we couldn't really control it in space. We got out into what looked like outer space, but we couldn't control anything. Again, no, I'm not, no autopilot. Just it's trimmed out and it just is stable. It's nice. Nose up a little bit more. I guess I could try. You know what? Let's push all the way thrust and let's put the afterburners on and let's like nose up and let's just see. Let's see if I don't think this thing's gonna have a failure. Where's fuel at? All right, we're still at 100. Oh, we have tons of fuel. Okay.
Velocity check, Mach 3. That's SR-71 territory. And we're just warming up.
Yeah, this thing goes up to 7.8. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Now we are getting somewhere. Now we're almost at 100,000 feet. Two right tanks are about empty. That center tank gets empty, and then I'll start maybe kicking the afterburners off at that point.
Cruise altitude of 120,000 feet reached without breaking a sweat.
All right, let's we'll leave the afterburners on for a few more seconds. All right, afterburners off. Let's reduce our throttle a little bit.
Mach.
All right, we're in outer space, I guess. Yeah, this is what happened last time. We just flipped right over. We just started spinning. Yeah, I remember this from last time. But supposedly Flying Fries took this thing up to past the moon, right? Past the moon, but you can't control it in outer space. Here, maybe we'll turn the throttles off and see what happens. Maybe it was too much power. Oh yeah, maybe that's it. Now we're doing all right. We are in outer space. Wow. Very cool. Look at that. There's our sun. Jor-El. You will kneel before Zod, son of Jor-El. Kneel. Very cool. Let's do a little bit more space and then maybe we'll try to land this thing somewhere. And we are orbiting around the Earth. You can hear somebody screaming. That was from FS Realistic. That was... Alright, let's... Alright, so that's kind of what space looks like, I guess. Not bad. But you can get into outer space. You can see the curvature of the Earth. You can't really see, like, I guess they don't have a model where you can see land. Which makes sense. I mean, it's a flight simulator. It's not a space simulator, so they wouldn't really model this. Alright, well, let's re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. Oh, this thing does have Oh, good. Very good. It does have spoilers. I kind of want to turn that up a little bit. That's funny. There we go. Let me turn it up a little bit. Alright, we'll probably hear some people screaming now. Roll over. That's 572,000 feet. Oh wow, that's cool. I don't know how we're losing fuel when we're not giving it any fuel, but that's okay. It's fine with me. Well, we were really out there in space. I didn't realize we were out so far. It's taking a long time to get back into Earth. It'd be cool if they had some effects, like some burning effects and shit like that. Like what really happens. That would be kind of cool if they did that. I'm not saying it's a thing that Microsoft should do, but like maybe Flying Fries, that would be kind of cool. Oh yeah, this thing has a heads-up display, doesn't it? Cabin, yeah, HUD. Forgot about that. We heard the Chads. They're starting to scream in the back there too now. I like how it gives us the kilometers. That's pretty cool. All right, speed brakes armed. and deployed. All right, we are starting to make fuel again. Kind of want to make this at night. No, bitch. This one, motherfucker. This one. I have no idea where we are. Dude, now you can see space out there. But when we got out there, we couldn't see anything. Well, that's all right, though. Maybe that's how it is in real life. Because it doesn't seem like when you're out in outer space, it doesn't seem like you can see anything. I have no idea. Where are we even at? 12:27, so time is okay. All right, let's get down to maybe like 30,000 feet. Find a place to land. Actually, you know what? Let's do VS. Let's just keep on heading south. It actually flew better without the autopilot on. Alright, we are descending. Or if the yaw dampener is doing that. No, not really. Cool little machine here, this Quasar. We see them all the time at the airports. Dipping below 78,000 feet. Is this the Black Sea? I think this is the Black Sea. Sevastopol! That's cool. I've heard of that place before. In that place, I could have sworn that was like... It's in some sort of movie. Like some sort of like 007 or Mission Impossible movie. I remember seeing Sevastopol before. Maybe it could have been from Aliens. Or the Alien game, Sevastopol. I don't know. I've seen that before and I'm like, oh yeah, that looks familiar. Yeah, I was on the fence about doing aircraft carrier ops today or this, and when I logged in, I saw that, actually, I'm sorry, I didn't think about this until I logged into my computer today. When I logged in, I saw it was International, Yuri's Day, essentially, whatever the day is called. That's to do with space. But I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, well, what do we have that goes into outer space? And I was like, oh, we got the Flying Fries Quasar. That's tough to say. For me, it's tough to say. Flying Fries Quasar. Maybe I'll get better as I get older. When I grow up. Flying Fries Quasar. Yeah, Flying Fries makes some good shit. It's very inventive stuff, I think. It's nothing radical that they're doing, like compared to other companies. We have engines and APUs and buttons to push, but it's just like they could have made just a regular airplane. It would have been on par with builds. Some of the just flight airplanes, that kind of thing. They took it a step further and they said, we gonna make this here Quasar. Yeah, we're just gonna keep on heading south. It's always an airport to land at. The lights look pretty good. All right, nobody's screaming anymore, so that's a good thing. Still going 5,000 knots. And we're making fuel, so that's good. Our fuel tanks are filling back up. And we are slowing down good, so I don't need to use the spoilers. Just slowing down naturally. That was pretty dope, actually, going into outer space. So the trick to flying in outer space here, you can't have the thrusters on. I think that's why we were flipping over. With so much power that it was just distorting us. But once you turn the powers off, I guess you do that in outer space too. You turn the engines off and just let your speed just, I guess since there's no resistance in space, you just continue, you'll just move until the Earth's gravity sucks you back in and destroys you. Destroys you! Yeah, I don't think you can see all those stars while you're in space. I think when you're looking up at the atmosphere, you can see them. But then when you get into outer space, it's just like what we saw, where it's just like nothing. except for the moon. You would see the moon. You know, because the moon is so close, and probably the sun at some point. But like, I don't think like you would see like another galaxy out all the way out there. It's crazy. What if this is gonna blow your mind. We all have cells, right? On a structure level, you know, we're all cells, we're all atoms, right? That form together and create human body. Well, what if this whole reality and us were just a cell inside a much bigger thing? You know, like how we have like cells that are really microscopic in our body. What if we're one of those microscopic cells in a bigger body? And the reason we can't see infinite, you know, the reason why we, you know, can't go to the edge of space, or it's just the way that it's constructed, where it makes it look like we can go far out, but we're really like isolated. Like, I wonder, like, I always think about that kind of stuff. Like, what if the Matrix is really true? What if we really are batteries? You know what I mean? And when you eat a steak, it's not really a steak you're eating. All right, so we're at 18 kilometers. We're still slowing down, that's good. Now, if you want to turn the fuel, making fuel off, you can just turn off the hydrogen electrolyzers. That'll stop from making fuel. If I turn those off now, it stops you from making fuel. Now you're just losing fuel. That's not a bad thing to do when you're coming in for landing, because you don't want to have, from what I remember, you don't really want to have these tanks filled up. You want to be pretty much just on the four engine tanks when you're coming in for landing. The missions they have on this thing are pretty dope. I think we did a couple of these before. You go under cargo. They have like, right? It doesn't really matter which mileage you choose. They're gonna have it anywhere. But yeah, Bantha suit. Tiers of F-22 pilots. Da Vinci's Codex. The Lasso of Truth. The Holy Grail. So this is what I mean, like, they're being inventive. The Olympic Flame, you can deliver the Olympic Flame. Green Kryptonite, Kurt Cobain's Martin D-18, that's funny. Esker ingots, they also have, where is, like they have, yeah, here we go, Xenomorph eggs. Plans of the Death Star, we can deliver those to Nicaragua. Yeah, so it's pretty funny, yeah. They have 3 pilots. They have Johnny 6. They have a chick and they have a dude. You can choose how much fuel you want when you start. Speeds, and then I think, yeah, that covers that right there. So close. Wow, I've flown this thing for almost 4 hours. It's pretty interesting. I didn't realize I'd flown it so much. All right, so let's start trying to figure out where we're going to land here. What's LCPH? $114 miles. see here. I want to go to maybe one of these island ones, but we might not be able to. LCLK. There we go. Lanarka. Direct. Activate direct to Lanarka. Nav is on. Okay, we are going to LCLK. See here, approach, localizer. No, this is not right. LCLK. Okay, approach. Hey, that's a cool approach. We'll do that one. So let's get let's zoom in a little bit. Can I zoom in on that? Oh, that's cool. Very cool. All right, so we got to get down to 1,500 feet. Plan. So we have 110.3. Let's set that up. Okay, 1103. 220 is our course, and 110.3. Let's do that on nav 2 as well. And then Lanarka is 112.8, so let's just program that in the secondary slot, 112.8. Do the same here. Okay. And you know what? Let me actually turn this on so when we hear it, we'll be able to hear it. All right, so we are all good there. Let's go back to Mapski. And let's program in our approach. No, this is not it. LCLK. Okay, we have ILS. I guess it doesn't really matter, but we'll do ILSY. That one. Nope. Nope. All right, we'll just do final. Vectors to final. All right, so that's been loaded and activated. Let's go ahead and go into heading mode. We'll just circle until we get down to a respectable altitude. This thing takes forever to turn. What's our fuel looking like? Fuel is okay. Start slowing down a bit. Can't really see the can't really see the swivelers. There they are. All right, so we're getting closer to a regular speed. K.A.R.A back there. I don't know if I really want to be landing going into the sun. We'll see how it looks when we get closer. Maybe we'll make it so the sun's behind us. All right, let me turn off this again. I want to get us down to 2,000 feet. Put the yaw dampener back on now that we are at a regular speed. What's up, Darren? How are you doing, my friend? No, this is not the Dark Star. This is the Flying Fries Quasar. We just took it into outer space. And then we are in the process of landing. We decided to land at Larnaca, which is an island like south of Turkey. We took off from Russia because it's Yuri's day today. International space flight International Space Flight Walk Day or Space Walk Flight Day, something like that. But it's an International Space Day because Yuri walked in space back in, I think it was 1962. So that's why we're using an SU-57 livery. Yeah, if I buy another one of those kind of planes, like the Dark Star kind of plane, I really think I'm going to get the SR-71. I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of military planes for the simulator. They just don't really do much for me. I guess it'd be one thing if they had like missions where you could like shoot down other airplanes or bomb stuff, but like I'm not that big into military planes for some reason. Maybe I should be. Maybe I'm missing something. I mean, they are a lot of fun to fly. All right, we do not have live weather on, so pressure doesn't make a difference at the moment. All right, let us turn back towards the airport because this does take a long time to turn around. All right, let me see what... So 220 is our heading, so let's set our course for 220. Fuel tank 3 is low. Oh, good. Okay, well, let's put this back on then. We can make some fuel. You know, I really don't know how far into space I got. We saw the curvature of the Earth. We saw it was all black, but the altimeter stops when you get like past like 230,000 feet or something like that. It just stops. So I really don't know how far we got. We couldn't really see anything other than just black. Like we didn't see the space station or satellites or any of that kind of stuff. But we did see that we were definitely above the Earth. We could see the curvature of the Earth, and we had the engines off, and we were circling a bit. We only were in space for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I don't have long today. I need to be finished here in probably about 10 or 15 minutes. I need to be done. I'm planning on leaving here in about 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm meeting up with my son today. Wants to go to the movies, so I said we can go. I'll be back later tonight. I think later in the night I'm either going to do, it's very possible I'm going to do a PMDG flight because they just updated the Boris sounds for the airplane, so I might do that. I'm thinking about doing carrier operations tonight as well instead, flying different military airplanes and taking off from carriers and landing on them, seeing what we can do as far as landings. I think that'll be fun. Or I was thinking about jumping in like a F-35 or this and just finding random people. Finding random people that are just flying around and not really trolling them, but just kind of seeing what they're doing. Spying on them. Spying on other people. I think that could be kind of fun. So whatever I do tonight, I don't want to do I'm not going to do a 4-hour stream like I did last night. I don't have the. I might be able to do it. I have an early appointment tomorrow morning, so I don't really want to go to bed super late tonight. But oh man, I got to get my sleep. Oh, I'm only like 30 miles from the airport. 34 miles from the initial fix. Well, 34 miles from the airport. 33 miles. Yeah, not far. All right, let's put our landing lights back on. stop making fuel. Surprised our computer really hasn't talked to us outside of it saying it wanted to go to the Bahamas. Well, this computer would talk to you a lot more while you're flying, but I guess it doesn't. I think if they had like a rebel ship or something from Star Wars here, that would have been pretty cool. Maybe I guess they couldn't do that for legal reasons. Probably too expensive. All right, let's get lined up. Let's stay at no more than 180 for the heading. That way we're at least within 45 degrees of our course. Put our altimeter down, let's put the altitude down to 1500. Activate localizer. Oop. And I guess we'll activate approach as well. All right, localizer's been captured. We are 20 miles out. So far, Darren, my day has been very good. I woke up late, which was nice. I never get a chance to sleep in really because of because of work. But yeah, I slept in a little bit. Yeah, man, just chilled for about an hour this morning, then started flying. Yeah, I mean, I didn't wake up till like 10:30 today, which is great. Usually I wake up at like 7:30 in the morning. Sundays I try to sleep in as much as I can, at least until like 7 or 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, until like 9 or 10 o'clock if I can. All right, let's slow our descent so we can capture this local line. I mean, so we can capture the glide slope. How far out are we? 14 miles. Let's put our landing gear down now. How's your day been so far today, Darren? Been pretty good? I'll put the HUD away.
And now, it's time for the stressful part.
Sync our heading. Glide slope is captured. Let's put our engines. Fuel automatic cutoff lever. What? I forget what. Well, we can arm it now, I guess.
Fact, armed.
That'll shut the engines off as soon as we get within like 50 feet of the ground, I think. Something like that. Here's the runway right in front of us. Very good. Fuel tank is almost empty. My control.
applause from the tower. Well done, Captain.
Oh yeah, like a glove.
Come on, bitch. Finish turning. No! No! That's what you get for floating. I'm hitting the brakes. I'm hitting the brakes. I'm hitting the brakes. All right, not bad. Not bad. You need to be a lot slower, I guess, for landing. Yeah, we should have been at we should have been closer to 260, but I don't even think it cut the engines off, did it? Oh, it sure did. It did cut the engines off, but that's cool. All right, well, that was a good flight, man. We're gonna come back later today, hopefully tonight. We're not too far from the airport. That's just a short little towing transaction there. We need to call a little tow truck and get us over there. But other than that, man, we can park where we want, man. This is a UFO, man. We are not supposed to be on Earth anyways. So the way I look at it, we can just park anywhere we damn well please, since we're not supposed to be on Earth anyways. So there. That's what I gotta say about that. All right, and I will see you guys hopefully later tonight. Darren, have a good Sunday if I don't catch up with you later. I hope you have a good rest of the day, and I will see everyone on the next episode of the Airplane Show. See you.